Okay, what you're saying, people, and welcome back to another live stream. And before we get into this, make sure you follow me on my Telegram channel. I'll have a link to that in the live chat and also the description below. So we post a lot of different trading setups there throughout the week, and you don't want to be missing out on that. So make sure you go check that out. But like I said, we've got another live stream. I'm going to talk you through what's happening in the charts today and see if you've got any opportunities coming up. So first, we'll start with AUD USD. So for this one, we had a push to the upside. We broke through this area in the market that I was talking about yesterday, previous support and resistance, a really key level on the 4-hourly time frame. As you can see, support, resistance there, support there, acting as resistance there with that bearish candle. And then you can see the next two just went and broken through it. So again, it will be acting as support now. And we do also have this trend line here in the market. This kind of trend line here, so we could potentially see another push to the upside for AUD/USD. We're kind of squeezing between that trend line and that support area. So again, it just depends which way. Price wants to give way first. So potentially could see a break to the upside, a break through that trend line, or break through that support, and then another swing to the downside. So it just depends which way price wants to break to. If you do break the trend line, I'll probably see us creating higher highs potentially, or maybe at least retesting the previous high all the way back up here. So at least see us getting back to there if you do break through this trend line. Break through the support, again, we could be seeing another move back to the lows here. As you can see, really nice support area, or probably even further than that if we start to see the daily start to come into the market and see more bearish momentum there. But again, kind of just trapped between the trend line and that support there. Euro USD, we saw that move to the downside. Now price is kind of finding support and bouncing back to the upside. Looks like it's found a little bit of previous support time resistance here in the market. As you can see, support there, nice move to the upside, again acting as support there with all those wicks, now acting as resistance. And as you can see, we've found some resistance there and we've fallen back to the downside. So Euro USD has had its move to the downside here. It looks like it's retracing slightly. Again, you can see on the daily chart, a nice move to the downside. We had a bullish candle yesterday from this area in the market here. Previous daily resistance with all these wicks acting as support as well, push us to the upside. Now we're retesting that same area again as support, and as you can see, we had that bullish candle from that area. So like I'm saying, if we do see a break of this level here, I'll probably expect price to come to go and test this 1.2 level here, really key level of resistance of the daily chart. Broke above it, didn't really get a retest, so we could be getting that retest of that area if we do see a break of the current support that price is testing. But again, don't know if we can get that break. We are looking quite bearish there on the 4-hourly chart again, but too hard to call now whether we're going to come back down and break that support there. Probably have to judge that when we get to that area, or potentially price could see another push higher. So we're gonna have to see with Euro USD. But again, we are still looking bearish here on the daily chart now, and if you get a break of that support, I do think 1.2 is the next level there. USD CAD, we did see a bearish candle as well yesterday, as you can see, well, for yesterday's candle here on the daily time frame. But the 4-hourly, you can see a nice drop to the downside, looking like we found a little bit of support. We're pushing back up again, but we do still have some prior support time resistance, could send us back down again for USD CAD. We could just see another move into this area, then price falls back down again. So for USD CAD, it's quite hard to trade this right now. Again, you can see we did find some support here and gave us a nice push to the upside into the 200 moving average here. But it's looking like for USD CAD, we could see potentially another fall to the downside for this pair. We do have this trend line here in the market, which looks like it's actually broken through it. So again, I'll probably expect another move to the downside for USD CAD, back to the lows again, maybe back to the support area, and then potentially could look to take it high again if we do get some bullish price action coming back into the market there. But not really interested with USD CAD in terms of where it is right now. Could see another push to the downside back to the lows, which could start to look a little bit more interesting for this pair. But overall, we are still looking quite bearish for USD CAD. USD/JPY, we did see a big move to the downside. I was talking about this trend line here for USD/JPY. Again, loads of tests across this trend line. Initial test there, second, third, fourth. Was expecting that fifth test sooner or later, and we got that a couple of days ago. And you can see we had a nice bearish reaction from that trend line there as well. So We did get an engulfing candle, so daily is looking a little bit bearish. This could just be retraced for USDJPY and we could roll back over again potentially. Again, you can see previous support in that area holding, giving us that move to the upside. So again, not really interested with USDJPY if it wasn't buying from here or selling from there. Not really interested with the price action going in the middle here. If we were to fall back to the downside, again, nice double bottom there, we could probably be expecting a break of the trend line. But right now, again, kind of in no man's land, don't really want to be jumping into that. Again, it could just be a retrace, then we could see the price just fall back to the downside again. But quite tough to call right now, so not really interested in trading USDJPY as of yet. A break of the trend line is still potentially on, but then we do have that bearish engulfing from yesterday's candle. So yeah, not really looking to trade USDJPY with the current price action we got there. USD we did see price fall to the downside from that area of resistance that I was talking about yesterday. Again, really strong area of resistance. If we broke through this resistance, I was probably expecting a test of this level here on the daily chart here. So again, really nice support area, support there, a bit of a false breakout, but still acting as support. Again, we didn't get a retest of that area, so we could be seeing another retest of this area as support, as resistance, previous support term resistance, and get a retest of that level. But again, really strong area of resistance there that is still holding us in the market on the daily time frame. So still really need to break through that area to really see USD give us that move to the upside. So right now, again, USD a bit in no man's land for me. Not really interested in buying or selling this pair right now. Maybe we have to get another leg to the downside, get a little bit of a double bottom going. That could be a really nice swing to the upside there, but not really interested in any USD trades at the moment in time. GPAUD, current trade I'm in right now. Again, taking its time to move to the upside. We did find some resistance prior to the move we just had. Again, you can see previous support there, term resistance. We did see a few bearish candles there to the downside, but nothing major. Still above moving averages as well, and prices slowly just trickling to the upside. So going to see how far this one goes. Potentially could look for a move into this area here. Really nice area of resistance there. Gave us the move to the downside. It would be nice if we could retest that, or maybe the 200 moving average just above it, but won't be looking to trade GPAUD into that level if we start to get some more bearish candles and more reversal signals coming back into the market. But again, just going to be seeing how far this one goes. Thank you for that, and morning to you too as well. Next, we're going to take a look at Euro JPY. Now, Euro JPY, again, just moving sideways. Again, this whole price action in this area, just consolidating really. So quite hard to work out which way price wants to go for this one. I was saying in the daily chart that it looks like it's sort of breaking to the upside with the higher lows and the higher highs in the market. But again, quite tough to call for this one since we were right at the highs, the weekly highs even of the market here. So potentially could easily see a drop to the downside, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did break to the upside with the higher highs and higher lows prices slowly baking. But again, in the Friday time frame, we'll kind of just move sideways. There's nothing really there to entice me there, so kind of just moving sideways. Could break to the upside, could break to the downside. It looked like we did break to the downside with this bearish candle here, closing below those wicks, but as you can see, we're sort of just still moving sideways from that candle anyway. So tough to call, but if you do see a break to the upside, I'm probably expecting higher highs and price to probably break free of this consolidation finally. But right now, nothing really interesting on Euro JPY. Next, one to take a look at GBP/USD. GBP/USD is looking very bullish right now. We're back at the highs again for this pair. Potentially could see a break further than that past the current level, past 1.37. I could potentially see price going a lot further. You can see a very strong bullish candle there on the daily as well. Price kind of trickled down and then had a really nice push to the upside, breaking through this counter trend line here in the market. So GBP/USD is looking very bearish here. Very bullish. We are testing this prior resistance. So again, a double top is potentially on for GBP/USD. Prior resistance acting as resistance again, but really not sure about that one because again, the price action is not there yet. If we to see a really strong impulsive candle for GBP/USD from that area, then potentially we could see a nice push to the downside again. But if you do get some choppy price action or a lot of wicks in that area, could easily see prices continue higher and go create some higher highs. Because again, from the higher time frames like the monthly, you can see we're potentially having a break to the upside here in the market. As you can see, this was our prior resistance, and you can see last month December we did close above this area. So again, as long as it's not a false breakout, and if it's a true breakout, we could see easily a couple bearish months coming up for January and February, maybe to the upside there for GBP/USD. So I have to bear that in mind. So we are looking bullish here, and I probably could be expecting new highs for GBP/USD. Next, we're going to take a look at NZD/USD. NZD/USD, we're falling back to the downside here. You can see we tested a key level in the market. We'll highlight this area here. See prior resistance, support, resistance there again. Tested it, and then we fell back to the downside. So again, NZD/USD kind of just start between some strong support and strong resistance area. It needs to break out to one side or the other. Break to the upside, probably expecting price to come right back to the highs again, or maybe a higher high. Break through this support, potentially could be seeing price coming maybe halfway through that, or maybe potentially back to the support area, because we do have some really nice key levels in NZD/USD at this moment in time for the 4-hourly chart. But right now we are looking bearish, so potentially could be getting another test of this area here. But if you do get a break of it, again, we can go a lot lower for this pair. A break of that resistance, probably back to the highs, or maybe even higher highs for NZD/USD. But it does look like we're slowly running out of steam for this pair. Again, you can see a really nice bull run to the upside, a really nice rally on the weekly as well. Gonna start to be seeing some pullbacks sooner or later for NZD/USD. So again, we could be expecting some supports to start breaking soon, but as of yet, no real opportunity for me for NZD/USD. GBP/JPY still looking bullish here. We did get a break of this resistance here in the market, really nice break. Price broke to the upside, hit that 142 area, and we'll be still looking bullish since then as well, as you can see with that 10 a.m. candle to the upside. So we are looking very bullish here for GBP/JPY. If I zoom out, you can see on the daily time frame, previous resistance here, which gave us the whole drop to the downside. Now we're back in that sort of area in the market. If I zoom out to the weekly, you can see we're kind of just trickling to the upside. So it could be seeing maybe a pullback sooner or later, maybe price breaking through this area to go and test the highs up here. That is still a possibility. As you can see, if I drop this down here, we had that whole crash to the downside from this region. So price could want to go and test that area again, potentially, and break through the resistance it's currently testing. But again, probably have to wait a little bit longer to find that out. Right now, on the daily chart, we are still looking bullish here. Price is creating those higher highs and those higher lows. So again, not really interested in selling this market right now. Again, looking very bullish there, in my opinion, for GBP/JPY, and potentially a lot further. We can go a lot further. Again, a lot of stop losses will just be above this wick here for GBP/JPY. We're not too far away from it, so maybe price might want to go and take up some new highs first before we start to see any major drops for GBP/JPY. But right now, still looking very bullish there, and probably expecting price to continue on for that pair. Euro/GBP looking very bearish right now. I was saying that we could potentially see another drop for this pair to the downside, and you can see we are looking very bearish here. We failed to really make any new highs in the market. That was our previous swing high for GBP/JPY, and then we failed to break through that, and as you can see, we just fell to the downside over the past couple of days here. So again, we're looking very bearish for GBP/JPY. I was saying we're going to be expecting price to come back to this area of support, and you can see we're almost there now. So I do expect price to maybe fall a little bit further. You've still got a little bit of room left to go and really test the support area, and maybe you can be seeing another big bounce to the upside, because if I zoom out, if I actually go to the weekly chart, actually, you can see this is a very strong level in the market here. You can see previous support there, push the upside on the weekly chart. Again, weekly chart as well, very big push to the upside, very big bullish week there. And again, another bounce to the upside. So a very strong support area. I do, however, expect it to break eventually, just because it's been testing numerous times, and you can see price is really failing to push away from this area in the market. So I eventually do expect to see a break of this support. Maybe not on this time round, because we're having a very strong bearish move into that area. You do expect to see some retrace, but I do expect this support area to break. And again, a lot of people will be buying Euro/GBP from this support, because again, clearly a support area, everyone's going to see that and want to buy the market there. So again, I do expect that support level to eventually break, but right now Euro/GBP is looking very bearish. There's not really much of an opportunity there, and probably expecting that to drop a little bit further as well. Next, we're going to take a look at CAD/JPY. Now, CAD/JPY, not much enough of opportunity here. We're coming back to the highs here of the range for the daily chart. So if I zoom out a little bit, you can see this is the daily chart here. Price just start between that resistance and that support. Currently we're right testing that resistance now a couple of times in a row there. Tested it once, dropped to the downside, tested it again. Not much of a drop, but we did see a slight drop. So I eventually do expect price to go and break this resistance as well. For CAD JPY, we might see another drop to the downside. We do have prior key level here in the market we didn't quite test, so could come and test that as support before we go break for that resistance for CAD JPY. So really not interested in CAD JPY right now either. If we were to see another move to the downside, big drop, could potentially see another push higher. But for CAD JPY, again, very strong area of resistance. Don't really want to buy into that. We could easily see another push to the downside for this pair. But again, no real opportunities for me for CAD JPY right now. And next we'll take a look at GBP AUD. Now GBP AUD, I already looked at GBP AUD, I mean GBP NZD, sorry. GBP NZD, similar to GBP AUD, do move in a similar way. But again, we are looking very bullish here and potentially could be seeing another test of the key level that I've been speaking about weekly analysis. You can see here, very strong previous support area, now testing as resistance. And you can see we did have a drop to the downside and now we're back at that same area. So potentially could be seeing a break of this resistance as well, since price is really struggling to move away from that resistance. You can see we've tested it multiple times with these wicks. We had a very big drop to the downside from that area. Price came back to retest it again. We had another drop. Price is coming back to retest it again. So price is really struggling to move away from this resistance. So it is showing signs that this resistance is going to be failing to hold. And we could easily see price go and break through this resistance for GPNZD and see a longer swing to the upside. We do still have this trend line here in the market. So again, initial test there, second there, we could easily be seeing a third test of that trend line now, since we haven't really seen a test in some while now. So I'm expecting this resistance to now break for GPNZD now and potentially see a longer swing to the upside. We've recently had a big push to the upside on the daily chart, as you can see, 1 2 3 4 5 consecutive bullish candles there. So going to be seeking some retrace before we get that break. I do think we're going to see some deeper retrace there in the market, but we are looking very bullish now for GPNZD. I do believe there's a lot further room to the upside for this pair. But currently only the pair I'm trading right now is GPAUD. If anyone wants me to look at any different charts, any different markets, or just wants my opinion, just drop it in the live chat and I'll make sure I'll give you my analysis or my opinion on that pair. But yeah, so far still looking bullish for GPAUD. We'll be seeing how far this trade goes, but yeah, just going to see how it goes, look at other pairs as well, see what any opportunities we get on them. But I'm just going to be seeing how this pair moves on today, and if anyone wants me to look at anything, just drop it in the live chat. Okay, so we're going to take a quick look at GPUSD. Okay, so for GPUSD, we're right back at the highs again. We could be seeing a potential double top and a movement to the downside here potentially. Again, probably looking a lot better on the lower time frames rather than the 4 hourly, maybe the hourly. Again, you can see we are looking quite bearish there. I'll probably wait for candles to close as well. Don't want to get too excited and just jump in the trade when you see a bearish candle there. We could pull back up and just give us a wick. So I'll probably wait for candles to close, but again, it does have a lot of downside potential. Since we did see this big push to the upside, we could be seeing price coming back down and actually retrace that whole move to the downside there. Again, we're right back at the highs. Again, daily chart right back at the highs. We could be seeing a move to the downside, but again, I just will be probably taking profit slightly quicker. Again with this one, because we did see a breakout of this trend line here, and we could be seeing some new highs for GPUSD, so do keep that in mind. But again, my probably advice is probably just wait for the candles to close. But again, if we do see some price action like this, that is looking quite bearish in the hourly time frame, and we could easily see a drop to the downside there for GPUSD. And then if we start to see the higher time frames follow suit, we could be seeing a longer move to the downside, maybe back to the same level we recently tested there. But again, I wouldn't hang on to this trade for too long, because I still think there's further room to the upside on the higher time frames. But if you do get a close like that, we are looking bearish and could be seeing a drop maybe to the 200 moving average on the hourly chart, and retrace some of this bullish move that we had to the upside. So we could be seeing some retrace of that move there. So yeah, if we do look like that, it is looking quite bearish, could be seeing a nice drop to the downside, but I probably wouldn't hang on the trade for too long, and maybe look to take profit as you go down to the downside there. So yeah, we are looking a little bit bearish on that hourly chart. Again, 4 hourly probably has a lot longer to go before we start to get any sort of confirmations of that one, but the lower time frames is looking starting to look bearish, but just wait for the candles to close. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick look at GPJPY. Okay, so for this one we are looking very bullish as of yet on the 4-hourly chart. Again, we're looking very bullish here. I do think over time we could see a break of this resistance here on the daily here. It's a very strong resistance area. Did send the market all the way down to the lows. I think over time we'll probably break that. But I do think we're going to start to see some pullbacks coming in for GPJPY since we just had a big push to the upside, breaking through this area of resistance here in the market. Again, you can see the break, retest, and then continue to the upside there. So I do think we're going to start seeing some more retracement for GPJPY in recent times, but I do think that in the near future we will break through this weekly area of resistance there and probably continue higher to go and test this area here in the market from a weekly point of view, and probably continue a lot higher to maybe 1.44, 1.45. But we are looking very bullish here on the daily, 4-hourly there as well. Maybe going to start to see some pullbacks here in the market. As you can see, a recent resistance here didn't really get a retest of that area. Could be seeing it pull back into this area, then price continues from there on. But right now we are looking very bullish, and again, as long as price keeps that price action going, we can continue going a lot further to the upside, because again, hourly as well looking very bullish, 4-hourly looking very bullish as well. But I do think GPJ might start to look to retrace some of its moves that it's done recently to the upside. Maybe let's go and find some prior resistance, turn support, and then look to continue on to the upside, and eventually go and break through that weekly and daily resistance. But right now, probably not really interested in buying the market right now, since we're right smack middle of that resistance. Maybe you're going to see a bit of retracement, but again, as long as price keeps up this bullish price action, we could go further to the upside. So again, probably just more reactive right now rather than predictive with GBJPY. If we start to look bearish again, we could easily see a drop to the downside to go and retest that area potentially. But if you do keep up this bullish price action, we'll just probably just keep seeing price continuing to the upside for GPJPY. So just going to be reactive with this one. If you do switch direction, look bearish again, could be seeing a drop. But over time, I do think we'll probably eventually break through this area of resistance and look to retest some of these areas further up for this pair. But right now, looking bullish and not real any opportunity for me anyway for GPJPY. So I hope that analysis helped. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick look at GBP USD. Okay, so for GBP USD, I'm currently back at the highs again for this pair. As you can see, this was a previous swing high, retesting again with resistance. Could be seeing a move to the downside here. Again, we do have a little bit of a engulfing candle down the 5 chart. Again, have to wait for these candles to close. We've still got about 2 hours left before that candle closes, so it could look different by the time it closed. But we are looking bearish on the hourly as well. We had that nice price action there on the hourly, so could be seeing a drop to the downside for GPUSD. Although again, I still feel like there's more room to the upside for this pair. Again, you can see on the daily a very strong close to the upside, very strong bullish candle. And on the monthly as well, we had that breakout of that resistance there on the monthly chart. So we could be seeing a further push to the upside for this pair. So again, if you are looking for shorts, I wouldn't hold on it for too long because I don't think we're having a reversal yet. Again, we are very strong area of resistance. We did see a nice drop from it. So again, we could be seeing a nice push to the downside again, but I don't think it will be quite a reversal of this whole bullish trend just yet for GPUSD. I still think there's further room to the upside for this pair. So again, we are a very strong area of resistance. Could be seeing a bit of a double top going on there, so we could be seeing a nice drop to the downside potentially. Hourly again could be seeing a drop to go and test that 200 moving average there. So I probably wouldn't be holding on for this trade for too long. I'll probably look to take my profit quicker, but again, I have to wait for candles to close here because this current bearish candle could be closing bullish or could just give us a big wick. So need to wait for the candles to close to get better confirmations. But yeah, very strong area of resistance. You can see last time we were here, we did see a really nice drop to the downside. Could easily see another drop to the downside again from this area. But my advice is probably just wait for candles to close before rushing to any trades. But yeah, we could be seeing a push to the downside. Maybe to test this area here. As you can see, we had that bearish candle there. That will be acting as support. Previous resistance turn support. So could be seeing a move into that area. And if we break through that, could be seeing price go a lot further. But I still think it probably won't be a reversal, more just a bearish push to the downside. But I still think there's further room to the upside for GPUSD. So again, I wouldn't hold on for that trade for too long. But then again, I could be wrong. We could easily see another push to the downside because we're right back at the highs again. But my advice probably just don't hold on for the trade for too long. But yeah, we are looking very bearish, testing that previous resistance again. As long as we see those confirmations, we could see a nice drop to the downside for GPUSD. So I hope that analysis helped. Okay, so it's just gone 12:30, so I'm going to wrap up the live stream in a little bit. But I'm going to do a quick rundown of some of the pairs I looked at 10 a.m. and also my current trade as well. So AUD starting to look a little bit bearish now, as you can see there, kind of bouncing off that trend line that I drew earlier. Again, connecting the previous two highs in the market there, so you can see we're coming into that support. So again, just depends if we're going to come and break the support or hold. If we do hold, again, probably see another push back into that trend line, then maybe we'll probably see a break of the trend line as well and a possible swing higher. If we do break through that support there, again, we could probably see a longer swing back down to the downside now as the market starts to tire up from that bullish trend, and we can start to see maybe a counter trend move to the downside, or maybe even potentially a reversal as well. So could be seeing a longer swing to the downside if we do break through that area of support, but currently we're right in the thick of it, so hard to tell if we'll break it or not. We'll see how the candle closes at 2 p.m, which is still in an hour and a half time, so it could still look a little bit different to how it looks now. But overall, we are looking bearish. No real opportunity for us there. Kind of still stuck between that support and that trend line there in the market. Euro USD came down to test that support area on the daily, as you can see. Previous support there, previous resistance there, acting as support and acting as support there as well. So again, like I said, we need to see a break of this level and potentially could be seeing a swing to the downside to that 1.2 area. Previous resistance all across here will be turned support. Could be seeing a retest of that. We are starting to look bearish again on the 4-hourly chart there. As you can see, a very strong move into that area. Still need to break it though. It looks like we could be seeing a break if we keep up this bearish momentum here. But again, no real opportunity. Don't really want to sell into that support there because it did have some weight behind it. USD CAD, not too much happening with this pair. Again, you can see we're kind of just pushing to the upside, retesting this previous area of support, our-term resistance there. So maybe we can get a break of that and price will go higher. But if we do sustain and hold that level, maybe you see another drop to the downside for this pair. Daily, again, you can see we had that nice push to the upside, bearish candle coming back down again, and since then we'll kind of just be moving sideways a little bit on the 4-hourly. As you can see, there's not too much happening with USD CAD there. USD JPY was starting to look a little bit bullish again. We did see another push higher. We're pulling back though on the hourly, as you can see with the current candle pulling back quite nicely. But again, not too much happened there. Very strong move. This bullish move could just be retracing. We could see that continue further to the downside there potentially. But overall, nothing really happening from USD JPY on the 4-hourly. Daily, we just come to test the trend line there again. And had a little bit of a bearish reaction from that as well, with that engulfing candle there on the daily chart. So potentially could see that continue further to the downside for USD JPY, but again, no real opportunity for us there. And USD CHF looking a little bit bullish again here. We did see a reaction from this resistance here in the market. You can see that on the daily here. A really strong area of resistance. Tested it once, pushed it downside, tested it again as well. Had a little bit of a reaction, but maybe we could go and have another retest of it and maybe go and break it this time. And if we do, again, we could be seeing a move to go and test this area here in the market. Previous support all across here will be term resistance. We didn't really get a retest of it when we broke through it last time, so we could be seeing that retest happening sooner or later for USD CHF. But again, still need to break past that level there on the 4-hourly chart. We've had a little bit of a bullish movement, but again, we could still fall to the downside still for this pair. Kind of a lot of wicks around here, a lot of indecision. So going to quite hard to work out which direction price wants to go in right now. As for my current trade, GPAUD, you can see we're still looking a little bit bullish there. Again, still creating those higher highs, still respecting the moving average. Probably could be seeing a move to contest the 200 moving average there on the 4-hourly chart maybe. Or we do have this resistance here which sent the market down in the first place. You can see prior resistance there sent the market down all the way to the lows there for GPAUD. So it could be seeing a retest of that area. So probably looking to exit the trade probably when we do hit that area, or maybe if we start to see reversal signs before that. But overall, it seems to be running all right. I'm going to see how it continues, and probably will be speaking about the same trade again during my live stream tomorrow. So make sure you're there to check that out. But like I said, at the end of the live stream, hope you all enjoyed it and found it useful. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel and also leave a like on the video if you're feeling generous. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I will see you later.